Is this the end we never imagined? How could a private letter be leaked to the public? And why does Taehyung's last sentence sound like a farewell? This letter not only stunned the public, Jungkook was said to have cried silently after reading it. What is the real content of Taehyung's personal letter to his mother? Is this a sign that he'll step down from BTS? No one is ever really ready for a loss. Not when the loss hasn't happened yet, but it feels very close. And in the world of K-pop, when silence turns into a whisper, then a whisper into an explosion, one name immediately becomes the center of the storm. Kim Taehyung, it all starts with a piece of paper. A letter that no one should read except his mother. But somehow, the letter appeared. Not at the press conference. Not on live. Not in the promotion. The letter leaked. It leaks into the wrong hands, then circulates quickly like fire in summer. And what was surprising was not just the content of the letter, but how it made a single sentence sound like a sharp knife slicing through the hearts of thousands of ARMY. Mom, I want to live the life I've always dreamed of, even if I have to give up everything. What does Taehyung mean by letting go of everything? Is it just the overflow of a child's heart to his mother, or is it actually a bigger, deeper, more emotional code than anyone could have imagined? We're talking about V from BTS. The man known for his warm baritone voice, visuals often considered the most surreal in the K-pop world, and his little smile that can liven things up. But in the letter, there is no smile. No laughter. There are no cheerful lines that we are used to hearing from his lips when greeting the ARMY. There is only honesty and sadness wrapped in silence. How could a personal letter contain so many clues? Why, among the thousands of words Taehyung could have written to his mother, did he choose to write question mark-laden sentences? Is it about a career? About pressure? About the hopelessness that he had been hiding behind the camera's glare and the endless stage schedule? Even Jungkook, known as Taehyung's youngest brother and one of Taehyung's closest people, couldn't hide his surprise. A staffer, who did not want to be named, said Jungkook seemed to be silent for a long time after hearing the letter. His hands clenched, his eyes puffy. And when asked, he only answered with a short sentence that made an impression. I hope it's not really his decision. What decision? Back off? Long break? Giving up his identity as V from BTS? Or just take a break from the world that keeps demanding it to be perfect? The letter was not long, but enough to shake the conviction of many. In it, Taehyung talks about childhood, about memories with his mother, about inexplicable tiredness. But what's most heart-wrenching is the part when he says that all this time, he felt like he was living between two worlds, the world he loved as an artist, and the world that kept pulling him back as an ordinary human being. I love them, Mom, but I'm starting to feel like I'm losing myself. That sentence made many soldiers cry. And more than that, making many people start to question, did HYB know about Taehyung's heart all this time? Have the other BTS members been tagged? Or are they all just as surprised as we are? A few days after the letter was circulated, HYB has yet to give an official statement. And the absence of that statement just makes the rumors even crazier. Fans began to compose theory after theory. Some believe that the letter was written long before Taehyung started his acting project. Some believe that this is the last message before he decides to live a different life, without cameras, without concerts, without BTS. But what was most surprising was the reaction from Taehyung himself, or rather, his absence. Usually, when big rumors circulate, he will provide clarification, at least through social media. But this time, no. Not a single word came out of his official account. No uploads. There is no sign that he wants to dampen this turmoil. Did I ask this a silent protest? Is this his way of asking for time and space to regulate his breathing that may have been too short by the pressure? Or, even more deeply, is this a hint that the decision is unanimous? If so, what about BTS? What about a recently renewed contract? What about the reunion concert? With a comeback? With a promise to stay together until the end? Even more heartbreaking is the fact that the letter ends with a sentence that is very personal, very subtle, but leaves us all speechless. If I leave, it doesn't mean I forget. I just want to live like I always promised myself. Go where, Taehyung? Is this some kind of indirect resignation? Is this the beginning of an unspoken breakup? Those questions are now hanging in the minds of millions of fans. And right now, the world is waiting on whether there will be confirmation. Or rather, a long, painful silence. It is undeniable. BTS has become more than just a music group. They're family. They're hope. They are part of many people's lives. And if one of them decides to get out, then it's not just about an ordinary breakup. It was a collective wound. Jungkook did not remain silent. Some sources say that he personally tried to contact Taehyung after the letter was leaked, but it is not yet known whether the meeting was successful. Some said they had met in person, and their conversation lasted more than an hour, in a very emotional atmosphere. How does it go? Is the letter just an outburst that will not turn into a concrete decision? Or is this the beginning of a major change in BTS's history? One thing is certain. The ARMY is now in its most suffocating waiting phase. Because they know, if Taehyung decides to truly live as himself, then that means he may have to leave behind something that has raised him and raised us all. And if it happens, then the last question that no one can answer will continue to haunt. Is love enough to make a man survive in a world that constantly demands him beyond himself? While Taehyung's silence begins to form restless waves amid a sea of anxious ARMY, word comes that the letter was first found by a private laundry attendant of Taehyung's family in Daegu. A piece of paper that was supposed to be hidden behind a drawer, tucked inside the folds of an old winter jacket that for some reason was sent for washing. Is this a coincidence? Or was there another hand that deliberately allowed the letter to be found? We cannot conclude, but there is something awkward. Why was the letter written in very neat hand ink, signed, but not put in an envelope? Why is there such a section deliberately colored with dark blue ink to make it look more striking, especially the BTS will always be a part of my heart, but will I still be a part of them? Is that a sign that Taehyung feels left out? Or that he is in search of an identity that no longer aligns with the path of the group? Some observers who have been following the internal dynamics of BTS say that in recent times, Taehyung looks standalone, both in expression and direction of creativity. Is it part of a process of self-discovery or a process of slowly retreating? And what about the other members? Did they know before the public knew? An interesting incident occurred in the same week the letter was leaked. RM, who is usually active on social media, suddenly uploaded a photo of a short English poetry note with the phrase, "Sometimes the birds must fly even when the sky is burning." And what's more interesting, the caption is only one word. He. Is this a code? Does he know more than he's shown? And who exactly is the he in question? Suga, who has always been known as a rational and calm figure, instead reposted a video of their old concert, with a close-up of Taehyung's smiling face amid thousands of ARMY bomb lights. A choice that feels too sentimental to be taken for granted. Suga's comments below are no less evocative. Sometimes, a smile is the most subtle way to scream. Jimin? He chose silence. But very loud silence. It disappears from all online interactions. Not answering comments, not giving likes, not rewatching fanbase posts as usual. And rumors are circulating that he and Taehyung had an in-depth conversation before the news of this letter exploded. Some even say they met in a secret place in Jeju for 2 whole days without staff, without cameras. Just 2 best friends who may be reworking the meaning of their future, but the one thing that made ARMY's heart feel like it was being squeezed was Jungkook's attitude. After initially falling silent, he was finally seen appearing in a private live broadcast in the middle of the night. His voice was hoarse. His eyes are puffy, but he tried to keep smiling. And in the most emotional moment of the broadcast, he said, "If you believe in US, please give him some time. He just needs to space. But we're here. We stay, waiting for him to return to where he should be." Does that mean Taehyung is indeed considering a break? Or is it already in the process of slowly exiting a group project? No one knows for sure. But as fans watched the live broadcast, thousands of comments filled the screen. Many wrote the words, "Don't go. We need you to stay complete. BTS is not BTS without V." And many even prayed that the letter was just a big misunderstanding, but not all reactions were optimistic. Some longtime fans said they felt that things have changed since Taehyung began to be more active in acting, fashion, and his solo projects. She looks happier in solo events, more open and expressive in individual interviews. Even in his solo album projects, he prefers the concepts of freedom, oneself, and without a mask. Is that the way he built a new path? Is he secretly building the foundation for a post-BTS life? A former makeup staffer, Huadwa. It didn't take long until the international media began hunting for the truth behind Taehyung's leaked private letter. Major news stations such as Japan's NHK, China's CCTV, to CNN International even mentioned this implicitly in their pop culture broadcasts. All wondered, is this the beginning of the end of the BTS era in full formation? A spokesperson for HYB said, BTS is focusing on their individual activities and no official decision has been made regarding the future of the group. But precisely this phrase sounds more like a diversion. If nothing happens, why clarify? Why not directly refute the leak of the letter? Meanwhile, many ARMY began to unravel the old moments that now feel like a premonition. One of them is a clip from the last concert before the draft begins, where Taehyung stares blankly at the other members before finally smiling lightly and looking down. At the time, many thought he was exhausted. But now? They asked again, was it a silent form of farewell that had not been spoken? An almost forgotten old fancam video has gone viral, showing Taehyung sitting alone backstage, playing his guitar while singing Coldplay's old song The Scientist. The lyrics are sung slowly but meaningfully. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be this hard. Is it the heart that we have been ignoring all this time? But there is something that makes everything more complicated. An anonymous insider account on social media that previously proved to be accurate in leaking the comeback schedule of several big idols, this time uploaded a short tweet that immediately made ARMY speechless. He didn't leave because he hated it. He left because he loved too much. Those words hit like a storm. Is it true that Taehyung is choosing to stay away in order to keep BTS intact in his best memories? Does he feel that his presence, with all his indecision and anxiety, will actually be a burden? We don't know. But the feeling is like this, too heavy to imagine. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, a French radio broadcaster mentioned in their Asian music segment that it had received a signal that a BTS member would be making his international film debut in the next few months. And more surprisingly, the name mentioned is Kim Taehyung. Does this mean he has quietly prepared a new path? Is the letter not a harbinger of the end, but rather an introduction to a new, more personal and different chapter? But all these theories are not able to defuse the biggest question. What will happen to BTS without V? Jungkook, who was trying to calm down during the live broadcast, was caught on camera by fans at the airport a few days after the letter incident. He was wearing a black mask and a large hoodie, but his pace was slow and unfocused. Even a staff member seemed to be holding her in his arms to keep her on the right track. Fans' eyes were observant at the empty expression on his face. They wonder, what is really going on behind the BTS stage? How deep were the wounds they suffered when one of them might have stepped away? An ARMY senior, who has followed BTS since their debut, penned an emotional thread that went viral. In one part of his thread, he wrote, "We always say BTS is home. But what if one of the residents doesn't feel at home anymore? Are we going to let him go find another house? Or will we try to rebuild the house together?" The phrase was liked by hundreds of thousands of people because it represents a collective feeling between letting go and sustaining, understanding and rejecting the truth. Meanwhile, other rumors began to circulate from within the circles of the entertainment industry community. Some say it wasn't the only letter Taehyung wrote. The source claims that he wrote several letters to the other BTS members, personally letters of apology, explanation, even hope that they would still be brothers despite their different paths. Do the letters really exist? If so, why hasn't anyone responded directly yet? The presence of Jin, who had just returned from military service, also gave rise to new speculation. Some fans are convinced that Jin was the only person who knew of Taehyung's decision from the start. Because in one of his interactions, Jin once said while live, "I'll talk to Taehyung in person. He knows what he has to do, and we will always support whatever it is." Sounds neutral at first glance. But in the present context, the sentence feels like a veiled goodbye statement. And now the question comes back to us. If Taehyung does leave, will it be the end of BTS? Or the beginning of something bigger? The question still hangs. The letter has opened a door